Listen, I have to put this on mute for this because this is important. This internet, this social media, if y'all notice, like, it's becoming very, very, very... People are projecting their consciousness, their state of consciousness onto these apps. And everyone's in different dimensions. Everyone's on different levels of awareness. You know, everyone's in different realities. Some people are literally in hell. They're in hell consciousness. Okay? If you are trying to bring your life to a kingdom level, queendom, okay, heaven on earth type of consciousness, you're going to have to delete these people. You're going to have to block these people that are in hell state of consciousness. You're going to have to unfollow their asses. Like, stay away from them. Okay? If you are wanting to work through your marriage and your relationships, and you truly, truly want to begin to view your perception of men from a healed state, not from a wounded state, then you need to delete women that be constantly talking about niggas ain't shit and they don't do this and they don't do that. You got to delete those type of women. You have to be around, you have to follow women that are wanting to be on that path and that timeline of kingdom, queendom marriages, okay? Like, this real talk. I'm for real, because what you read, remember, our eyes are portals. Our ears are portals. Our mouths are portals. Okay? But what you read, what you see, as I said, oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. Okay? Because it's literal portals into your consciousness. And that was the intention of social media and the metaverse and all that, and 2020 when those 5Gs and all that stuff. What they're doing is they're linking your state of consciousness into the Ethernet world. Okay? It's deep, but that's what's going on. So this is why it feels so heavy on this internet. Like, it's like, oh my God. And you're reading people's posts and you're seeing everybody projecting their trauma, their inner child shit. Like, a lot of these women that be talking about niggas ain't, and they're just so, men don't do this, they don't provide, they just can't do this, they just shit, da 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 da. Those are girls that have lived in that reality. They have been in that dimension. They have never been exposed to good men ever in their lives. Most of them, not all, but most. Okay, so they're in a dimension of wounds. They view men from a state of woundedness. And if you're trying to work through your shit within your relationship, you don't need to be following them women. You don't, because you will get sucked into their shit. I'm telling you, like, you'll be like, yeah, man, yeah. And then you be looking upside your man's head like, nigga, you ain't. And it's like, dang, what are you talking about? I'm over here trying. I'm working hard. I'm doing this. I'm working on myself. I'm trying to heal my wounds. Why are you projecting that onto me? Because you allowed somebody's state of consciousness to interfere with your state of consciousness. All right, y'all. Energy transfer is real, and it's not just limited to in person. It's not just limited to, touching someone. Like, it's real through this damn Ethernet, through this internet, this metaverse. Okay, unfollow those women. It doesn't matter if y'all are cool or whatever or not. You have to, because they will project their wounds and their state of consciousness onto you. And right now, where we're at, people that are not really, 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 really working on themselves, they're in that space, and they more than likely will exit in that space of wounds and hurt. I'm telling you, this is a shifting and sifting season, and you got to separate the wheats from the tares. That's what's happening on a collective level. This is why it seems like there's a split in the spiritual community. It's literal separation of the wheat and the tares. And you have to do that even within your own life. We're having to do that just in general. All of us are on a collective level. This is why friendships and relationships have been falling off and stuff. It's a separation of the wheat from the tares. And you will know who's who based on the stuff that they talk about, based on the stuff that they post about. A lot of people are not... They're not in 5D, y'all. They're not, or when I say 5D, I don't want to just keep throwing that term around. They're not on the frequency of healing, okay? And if you're not on the frequency of healing, then your heart is heavy. It's not light. So if you're trying to keep your heart light as a feather, you got to be around other people who are keeping their hearts light as a feather too, okay? That's just what it is. next year and beyond, we're moving into a time where telepathy is about to be very obviously like real. Okay, like we've known telepathy is real. Many of us have been tapping into telepathy, but it's about to go to the next level. It's going to the next level, and really the form of telepathy that is that's strongest right now is through this Ethernet. Every time somebody posts, they are telepathically sending you what is on their consciousness, and it's going into your consciousness. And as this veil becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, that transfer of energy, it's more active. Okay, I'm kind of channeling right now, y'all. Oh Lord, I didn't try to do that, but okay. So back to the point. It's very, very important that you are guarding your mind and your eyes and your ears. Yeah. Okay. So it's that time. All right. We have to be very, very conscientious about what we are allowing into our consciousness. Seriously, because things are manifesting so freaking fast. And like your consciousness is everything right now. Your state of consciousness is everything right now. Okay. It's just like with the news. The same thing I was saying with the news back in 2019, 2018. Stop watching the news. You're allowing that stuff into consciousness. Now it's with people on this internet. Okay. Some of these things on the internet are really just bots playing into the collective ego and what it is that they're trying to perpetuate within the lives of the real people's lives. Okay. Like, I'm serious. Like, be very careful. And same with the men. Like, a lot of the reason why a lot of men have been like out of their minds lately is because of that whole Kevin Samuels internet movement that was going on. That was feeding into their traumas. That was feeding into their wounds. And so, although not all of the stuff that he was saying was quote unquote wrong or anything, there was a lot of truth to what he was saying. But if you're hearing it from a wounded space, from a bunch of mother wounds, and your mother abandoned you in some way, she neglected you in some way, she'd be cussing you out, she didn't speak positive, whatever, she projected some sort of trauma on you, and you're hearing all that stuff Kevin Samuels is saying, and him dogging on women and stuff, that stuff's going to seep into your consciousness, and you'll start thinking like that. That's what's happened. I'm telling y'all, this Ethernet, this metaverse, whatever, it's psychological warfare. It's spiritual and psychological warfare, for real. So just be mindful of that. Nothing to fear. Just be mindful.